Hi everyone, this is Tim Connell. This tune for Get Ready for Django in June is Anniversary Waltz in the key of A minor with a brief foray into C major. And I'm going to first do the chords here, and just to show you fingerings for how to play three-note chords to chunk along, and then we'll have a brief lesson on improvisation in harmonic minor that some of my students from last year might remember. We treated minor swing this way, just to give you sort of a paint-by-numbers approach to A minor, D minor, and E7, the three main chords. And the PDF should be attached here on the Django in June website. You can look for it. It's called Improvisation in Harmonic Minor. All right, I'm going to get my ugly mug out of the frame so that you guys can see the left hand, but I'm looking forward to seeing you in Django in June, and I encourage new students to come along or at least use these materials to learn a little bit about how to play gypsy jazz. Thanks, guys. So first, chords. A minor is 2, 2, 3, just plain old A minor. I use E7, even though it says E7, sometimes it's just fine to just play a plain major chord. So E is 1, 2, 2. I'm talking chords from the G string down, and usually there's just 3, so don't worry about the E string for today. So A minor, E, A minor, D minor, 2, 3, 5. These are your main chords. They're all simple triads too. The other option for E7, that's E. And if you drop down that 7, this is 4, 6, 5. And you might as well have another A minor as well. The next inversion of A minor, that has 1 at the bottom. 1, 2, 3. That's fret number 5, 7, 7. So that's what you'll see me play when I whip through the tune in a second. D minor 7 is 5, 3, 5. The 7 is in the bass actually, and the 1's on the top, but it works. It's great because G7, you only have to move one finger. D7, the G string's on the 5th, G7, it's on the 4th. I should have said D minor 7. And C, I usually just play the bluegrass C, which is not a great chord because it's C, E, C, we're missing a tone. But in the absence of a guitarist or bass player, I want to make sure they know I'm playing a C and not an A minor. If you have a guitar player or bass player, D minor 7, G7, I like that a lot because it has 6 on the bottom. It's actually an A minor 7 chord, but it's a great C6. And I believe that's it. No, F7, which is easy because E7 up here was 4, 6, 5. So just the whole operation up a fret is F7. All right, so here's the whole tune. That's both E7s. A minor turns to A major that way, and that's usually plenty for getting across the A7. You don't need the 7. And again, the A part. Sorry. E, or the other E, the A. How about the other A? And this A7 is there. B part. So there's chords, and the harmonic minor, just to get you started, if you haven't improvised, this is kind of paint by numbers, but the A minor and the D minor are simple triads. They're not a 5 chord like E7 is. So it's essential to know your triad, as in 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. Just basically playing every A, C, E. That's commonly called practicing your arpeggios. It's knowing the 3 notes of the chord, being able to play every 1, 3, 5 as it appears in order. And in general, I'd recommend, in the style of Stefan and Django, open strings are definitely encouraged. You can learn shapes up the neck if you want, but open strings are great. And what I'm going to add to that for A minor, D minor, is the note in between 1 and 3. 2, in other words. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. And that's sort of your paint by numbers for the A minor and the D minor. Just think the triad, 1, 3, 5, but throw 2 back in there. 1, 2, 3, 5. So this is the exercise. That's A minor. And now D minor. If you notice, an A is in both of these chords. So the A will start it. That's A minor, D minor, and E7, what you're going to do is take E, G sharp, B, the triad, 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7. That's what makes the 7 chord sound so good, these 5 chords. But we're going to add one more thing to it in minor key, which would be an F natural of all things. Which is very strange because it's the note a half step above the name of the chord. But trust me, basically replace the E's with F's, and you're going to be gifted this amazing chord called the diminished 7. So again, it's regular E, E, G sharp, B, D. Change the E to F, and you got F, G sharp, B, D. And those are your 4 notes for the paint by numbers for your E7 chord. And the chord is called a diminished 7, and it is ubiquitous in the gypsy jazz genre, among other things. And that's the secret to sounding minor. That's how it works. So your exercise might look something like this with the tune. Once you're good at these, you can kind of, as an exercise anyway, and these are just the 4 notes per so that was, if you are looking for what 4 notes for each chord, it's at the very bottom of that sheet, improvisation and harmonic minor, the last line. And that's kind of the idea. So that was very exercisey. That was not a nice solo, but even restricting myself to those rules, which are just the foundation, we're going to add stuff to that. But even with those rules applied, you can still make a nice solo, which I'll try to demonstrate here. Okay, I was itching to throw a few other things in there, but it's still not bad, and it's a beautiful foundation. If you can get normal, the 1 chords, tonic chords I should say, the 1 and the 4, just do a triad, but add the second note, so 1, 2, 3, 5. And as a rule on a 5 chord in minor, just change the name of the chord up a fret, and then you've got diminished 7. And just listen to Django now with that information. It's everywhere, especially in the minor key tunes. And one last one too. I have another sheet attached that is for the major. There's only 1 line of major, but you know, we might as well have something cool for it. And even though there's 3 chords, D minor 7, G7 to C, that's 2, 5 to 1, C is your 1. What works really cool is just taking the C triad, and that's 1, 3, 5 triad. So you got to know this. If you don't know your C major arpeggio, learn that first before you do this exercise. But it's basically enclosing all of the chord tones. So in a C, you can have a D above it and a B below it. And my favorite thing to do is above, then the note, then below, then the note. On E, it would be F, and strangely enough, I don't know why, but D sharp is what everyone seems to do. And then on the 5, G, you have A above, and again, very strange. I don't know if the rule is it's always a half step below, but that's basically what you get. And there's a sheet with the sheet music. Here's the exercise as I do it. If you want to go that high. And all it is enclosing. Here's C, and then E, the G, and C, E, and G, C. Played over the tune. I'm going to loop the line that's in C major. This will just be 2, 5, 1 over and over again. And notice, I'm only playing the C major things over the D minor 7 and G7, but it sounds pretty good. So that's a very handy trick, and you'll notice it in Django's playing quite a lot. Maybe even in this tune, the YouTube recording that I just checked out. Yeah, it seemed like there was at least a little bit of that on the two major lines. He does two lines of the C major. So that's about it, and I'll see you at Django in June. Thanks, everyone.